Hello everyone to the final ranking video. I believe tomorrow is, if my calculations are correct, I am recording these ahead of time. I believe tomorrow is when Legends Z-A is coming out, and I'm very excited. I hope you are too. So today we're going to be looking at the Pokemon introduced in Scarlet and Violet. One thing I'll say about some of these is, one, I don't remember some of their names, and two, the futuristic and primal ones, I definitely don't know the names because they're weird as hell, and I only played Violet, so I'm familiar with the futuristic ones to varying degrees. I might know some of the names, but the older ones, it's going to be based on visuals alone. I'm also not including the DLC as well, so if you're wondering, oh, where are those other ones? They're not there. I mean, the DLC Pokemon were largely, there was a couple of ones that weren't, like Ogapon, but they're largely the futuristic forms and stuff that they introduced. I think a lot of them were introduced in events and stuff like that, so I'm not including them. I don't even know if I'm gonna. No, I will rank those because they are Pokemon. They're sort of like the beasts and stuff from Generation 7, so I suppose it's only fair. Yeah, anyway, this one has some really good Pokemon, and also some Pokemon I didn't like as much, so this is going to be an interesting one. Right, let's start with the stars. I think these are all top tier. Again, they do not miss when it comes to stars, or they rarely miss, at any rate. I think Wakoko may be the weakest, but they're all pretty strong. Okay, now the second stage evolutions. This fucking thing, Crocolo with its little hat, I don't care for as much. It's alright, but I don't like its hat. Quaxly's evolution, which I do not remember, I think is C, I think is even worse. And Florigatito, I think is slightly better in A. So the second stage evolution is a bit more mixed. I think Meowscarada is alright, a little bit better than its second evolution. I think Skeledirge is an absolute beast, and definitely one of my favourites from this generation. I love that they didn't make it go on 2 legs for a start. That is definitely welcome. So the fact that it's actually a, what looks like a crocodile but full of fire. And then you've got like the, I think there's like a skull or something that goes in there. I think that's part of his ability or a special move maybe. But he's cool, cool. Now, when it comes to Quaxly's evolution, which I do not remember, I also do not like it. I think that's also, actually no, I'm going to put it in B, it's slightly better. Yeah, I don't like the evolution. I think Quaxly's awesome, I think his evolutions are not, to be quite honest. Lechonk is this generation's Wooloo, and I think he's awesome. I think he deserves to go in A. Whereas his evolution, Oinkalon, I think it's a bit weird looking. So, like with Wooloo and Double, let's try to remember its name. Like with Double, I don't think it sits very well with me. There's something about it I'm not keen on. So I'm going to stick it there. I'm going to stick both forms in there. Sod it. No, I'm going to keep out there. I'm going to keep other forms. I've just realised that we've got Dudunsparce next. Right, Dudunsparce, which I think is marginally longer in one form. Weirdly. Dunsparce is cool. Dudunsparce is kind of cool, but it's just like an extra link. I think I'm going to put it top of A. Just it is a cool Pokemon. I do think it does look good. It's just they didn't really do anything different. So I'm not going to place it super high. I don't remember the name of that. I remember this one is Spidops, and he's cool. I think he deserves to go top of it. I think his arms look a bit like French fries, which would prevent him from going to S, but otherwise it's really cool. I think the first form, even though I forget the name, I think that deserves to go in S, so it's really cool, and I got excited when I first saw it. Right, got another bug Pokemon. I don't remember its name. Again, I remember this one's Low Kicks, which I think is cool, but not as cool. I'm going to place it at the bottom of it. It's cool, but there's some about it I'm not too fond of. And same with this one, to be honest. I don't think I like him that much. I'm gonna stick with B. I think it's good design, I guess, but yeah, I just don't dig him, to be honest. Right, the dung beetle Pokemon, which I don't remember the name of. What's it called? I don't remember the name of the evolution. Rabascal or something? I don't remember. Right, well I like the fact that it's like a psychic bug, and he's kind of neat, and he's turned like his dung ball into a psychic thing, but so I like using him. I'm not too fond of his design. Same with this fella. Like, I think he deserves to go top of B. He's alright, but there's something about him that's just off more than anything, you know? Graveyard, I think one of them's called Graveyard. I think he's cool. Like, I think that this one is fairly decent and deserves to go in A. And I think this one deserves to go in S. I can't remember which one Graveyard is, but either way, they're still cool. Right. So I go for the ones I know the name of first, and I'm going to try and remember the name of the other ones. Because I can't remember the name of this one as well. This one's got a weird name, like S something or other. Anyway, it's like a peacock, I suppose. And it's really cool. I like it. I like it a lot. I'm going to stick this up in S, below the starters, but still pretty high. And this thing, where is it? This one, I can't even tell what the fuck it is. I'm going to place it high as C. It's not necessarily bad, it's just I look at it and think, what is it? Viraphoric. Viragarif. I don't know, it's basically like an anagram of Giraphoric. It's got a stupid name. But it's nice that it got an evolution, and it sort of works. I kind of like it. I'm not going to place it in X. But it is cool. It is cool. Wiglet, on the other hand, I think Wiglet is fine. Wugtrio is also fine. I think their names save it. I think if it wasn't for their names, they would be disappointing. If I exclude the names, I think Wiglet would be A. And Wugtrio would be C. I think Wugtrio, just the name alone, deserves to stick it a little bit higher. The fact that these aren't specifically regional forms of Diglett and Dugtrio, though, kinda piss me off. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm not gonna place it much higher. But yeah, there's about fine. Okay, see, I can't remember the name of that. It's the I can't remember the name of it, and I've never used it. Looks alright. Let's stick it at D. Sorry if I haven't used it, I can't really rate it that high. That is basically like Barraskewda, but not. Again, its design is fine, but it's not really doing anything special. Palafin! Oh my god, we got a dolphin Pokemon finally, and it is amazing. A tier. However, its evolution... Is it an evolution or is it a different form? Shit, does it evolve? Oh, I'm starting to doubt. Hang on, let's Google this. I really need to check whether or not this is actually just a form change, or whether this is something it evolves into. I think, from what I remember, I think Palafin does evolve, but it looks exactly the same. I think there might be slight differences, but I think it does evolve. Okay, oh yeah, right, Palafin is the one with the heart, and that's the evolution. and the one without the heart is the first tier. Now I would put Palafin up here, but I don't like its superhero form. I think it looks very, very bad. However, he's a really cool ability and does make him super strong. So he's cool to use, but I think the design of its transformation is so bad that, yeah, I think it needs to be knocked down a tier. Smoliv! Smoliv is great. I can't rank it higher than the Dolphin Pokemon, so it goes there. And I even think its final evolution, Arboliver, I think it is even better. It's a pretty good Pokemon, actually. I'm going to rate higher. The second evolution, which I don't remember the name of, I think is cute. I think it's cute. I don't think it's an S-rank Pokemon, but I would put it in decent A. I think it's solid. I would just say that, you know, it does what it needs to do to get from A to B, but at the same time, I don't think it's like amazing in terms of design. Like, its design itself doesn't get me particularly excited. I don't know if I'm explaining that particularly well, but you know what I mean. Scovillain. We've got a grass fire type Pokemon, and I think that is pretty iconic for the region, and I'm going to stick him quite high up. His pre-evolution though is okay. I don't like it as much. I think it's too tiny to really notice, so I'm going to stick it here. I think Capsicum's decent, but I think it's just the fact that he's so tiny makes him a little bit, I don't know. I don't like him as much because of that. Right, next we have belly, something or other. Belly bonk. I don't know. He's the Pokemon that the electric gym leader uses. I really should be better at like names of Pokemon, to be honest, but honestly, I forget the names of most of them. Like, there's some that I remember, which is the ones that I've used, but because I only played through Scarlet and Violet once, I haven't experimented with a lot of them. Like, this is one that I haven't played as, but I do think he's really cool, and I think his design is an S. And even though this thing is still basically like a tadpole, I think this is really high in A. I'm going to put this there. I'll say there's been other tadpole Pokemon, and they've gone a lot lower down, but I think that's, as an electric tadpole, it's pretty good. Bellybot himself, I think, goes back here. What's next? Okay, Reveroom. This one I experienced in those kind of Team Star battles, and yeah, I think that those kind of ruined it because you didn't actually realise what the hell it even was until like much later. And I don't like the design of it. I think it's okay. I think this one's alright, and then I think this one's like C tier. Yeah, I don't get particularly excited by that. I think that it could have been better if they're going to make like an engine Pokemon. There's so much more you could have done, and they just kind of wasted it. Orthworm, I think he's cool. I think he's not the best worm Pokemon, but I'm going to stick him in A. I'm going to stick him highly in A. And I think that seems pretty fair. Mousehold. I don't remember the name of the pre-evolution. I believe Mousehold is the final evolution, and you can get it with a small family and a big family, which I think is a real cute gimmick. I'm going to place them both in S. They're not that much different to each other, but I appreciate the fact that you've got a couple and then they have a child, or they have two children. I think it's neat. I think I'm going to place it here. I'm going to place the prior one though at the bottom, just because it's not that much different. And the only reason why I'm placing the evolution higher is because there's two forms, and I think that sort of saves it, you know? Yeah, I think that basically kind of saves it from, you know, being completely disappointing. Okay, we've got... This is a dragon thing, right? I don't remember. Is it an ice dragon, maybe? No idea. I never used one. I think its design is fine. I think that this one is B and this one is lower B. I honestly, that was just basically like gut instinct. I can't even remember who they were. I mean, like, who the fuck are these people? Is that like a different form of this? This one looks like a dragon. What even is that? There you've got the, unless... Oh, that, is that... What's it called? Baxcalibur? Is that it? Oh man, I'm so bad with some of these names. Yeah, Baxcalibur. Seems about right. This is supposed to be a pre-evolution. I don't remember this little fellow. The problem is with Dragon Pokemon is because they leave them towards the end of the game. You basically see this one in the gym battle, and then you kind of forget that the others exist. I'm assuming that those are just pre-evolutions, so I can only base it on that. I think Baxcalibur is fine. I think he deserves to be an A, but not particularly highly. Like, maybe here. And the other evolutions, they're not great, are they? Like this one, I think is cute enough to go in B. And this one, I just look at it and forget about it. I think that deserves to go Bomber C, just because I can't remember it exists. Sorry if you're fans of whatever the fuck those are, but I honestly do not remember what they are. Right, anyway, we've got Tatsurigi, or whatever it's called, the sushi Pokemon. I think he's really neat. I like him. I don't love him, but I think he deserves to go reasonably highly. Yeah, I think there's about fine. And Cyclizar, I think is okay. I think Cyclizar is sort of disappointing in that, you know, you've then got different forms from the future or the past, which are Koraidon and Miraidon, and I think that those are just way better. I think he deserves to be in A, because he's pretty iconic for the region, but I think he's just outshone too much by, you know, the Pokemon that you hit me with your tail, cat? Yeah, the Pokemon that basically like the different forms, you start out with that Pokemon, so it becomes a bit disappointing in comparison. Right, the Palmy forms. I think Palmy's cute enough. I like it. I think got 3 evolutions, or is that a different form? I think it must be a different form, right? I think that's pretty cute. It deserves to go kinda highly. As for its evolution, or evolutions, is that a different form, isn't it? I think it must be an evolution. I think it's a 3-stage Pokemon. They're both fucking insane. I'm gonna put them both in C, to be honest. I'm just gonna assume that they're evolutions, because I'm not entirely confident in the forms, because they're different. They look different colours, but different, I'm not even gonna place them that highly, to be honest. I like the look of... No, I probably like the look of this one a little bit better. I'll stick it there. Sorry. Sorry if you like those Pokemon, but yeah, they look very similar. And even just like, you know, the base form, it's just a longer version, isn't it? It's not like... It's not exactly exciting. Anyway, Wattrel and Kilowattrel, the regional bird. I think these Pokemon are in the wrong order or something, because those should be near the start. Anyway, whatever. I think they're both great. I think Wattrel is a really cool little bird. I don't think he does enough unique to go into S, but I think Kilowattrel definitely does. I think he's one of the... I'm even going to place him like here, behind Skeledirge. I think he's that good that he deserves to be like 2nd place. You might not agree, but I think it's cool. Bombardier. I like him when he's sort of flying and he has that stalker look. But otherwise I find him a little bit disappointing. I think he's alright, but I would never use him as a Pokemon. I think he's a bit, I don't know, maybe forgettable. You know what I mean? Just looking at him, he's just like, yeah, he's there, he exists. But then beyond that, yeah, I would probably not use him. But he's okay. He's okay. I think he deserves to be in. I think he deserves to be in A, but no higher. Right, the Elvis Pokemon. Where am I going to put Squawkabilly? He's kind of disappointing, to be honest. His design is fine, but the fact that he doesn't evolve makes him a bit rubbish. I mean, he's got 4 colours, but he's not exactly a good Pokemon. Let's stick him top of B. I don't mind his design, I just think he's a bit crap. Flamingo. People say, oh, it's just a flamingo. And then people say, he's not just a flamingo, he looks like a boxing glove. He looks absolutely nothing like a boxing glove, he looks like a flamingo. So yeah, it's a bit disappointing in the fact that they didn't try and differentiate it's being a flamingo, but the fact that it's a fighting type is cool. And the fact that he's really good is also cool. And I'm going to place him in... I'm going to place him in 3rd position because of that. Actually, no, I'm going to place him in 4th. I think the design of Arboliver makes it just better. But yeah, he's cool. Right, Cloth. He's a cool little crab, like a rock crab. He's neat, I like him. I'm going to place him in S. And I think behind Fireball seems about fine. Right, the Minecraft Pokemon. You've got the Minecraft Mario Mushroom. Knackley, which is the only one I remember the name of, and I think he's neat. I think he doesn't deserve to go in S. I don't think any of them do, to be honest. This one I think is in B. It looks a bit weird, and I think the final evolution is sort of cool. I'm going to place it in A, but I'm going to place it at the bottom of A. I don't like it, but I sort of do in a way. So yeah. Anyway, moving on, Glimmora. Glimmora I think is kind of cool, and it's a weird Pokemon because you fight against it and you're like, why am I not doing any damage? It's a surprisingly strong Pokemon, and I can't even tell whether it's not like a legendary or something like that, just because of how tough it is to fight. I'm going to place this fella, I'm going to place it in S, I think. Where in S? Not amazingly highly. I'm going to place it about there. I think it deserves that spot at the very least. As for its pre-evolution, I don't think is anywhere near as exciting. I think you can go in B. No, maybe A. Bottom of A. Yeah. Bottom of A seems alright. Why not? Strudel. Now, looking at the evolution, this is what Impidimp should have been. Like, this is actually a really cool design. I don't like its typing. I think it probably should have been like Poison Normal. It should be like Poison Dark or something. But I still think it's really cool. I think you deserve to go at the top of A. And your prior evolution, Strudel, is cute. You can go in A. And just a little bit lower down. Yeah, I think that sounds about right. Dashbun and the other one are neat. I'm not going to place them in S because the design's not for me, but I still think they're cute and it's a cool idea. And I like that the evolution is just basically cooked. I'm going to place you pretty high up in A, and I'm going to place you even higher up in A. Yeah, I think that seems about right. Right, Mabostief. Mabostief and Mastiff. I think he's pretty iconic with the story, and I like that he's a big shaggy dog, and he seems like a good boy. I'm going to place him in S. Where in S? I think probably here. Maybe. I do like Greavyard better. He's still pretty good. And the other one I think is alright, but I don't like the colouring or his like kind of face. Let's stick him lower down in A. But he's still A, it's still a great design, I just don't think it's an S tier design. Brambling and Bramblegeist, I think it's got a weird evolution mechanic, but I really like them. What Tumbleweed has to do... Well, no, there's some areas of Spain that have Tumbleweed, I suppose. But, yeah, it's something that you more think about with, like, the Wild West than, you know, Spain. But, whatever. But it's still cool. I would rank this pretty highly, and I would rank this one also pretty highly. Maybe that there. Yeah. Cool. You can both go in next. Okay, Gimmighoul. I believe that these are just two forms of the same thing. You can get the wild form and you get the one that gives you coins. So I don't think they're any different. I'm gonna rank this form and then Goldengo, which is the evolution. I think Goldengo is pretty neat, but I'm not gonna put it in S. I'm gonna put it high up in A. I mean, not that high up, but here. Its pre-evolution form though, it looks better when it's in a chest. So I'm going to place it at the top of B, but I think it's the lone form, which is the actual version you catch. It doesn't look all that great, if I'm honest. Well, I'm missing quite a fair few. There's a lot of Pokemon this generation. I expected this to be less. I don't want to go through all these like old forms and new forms and stuff like that. Let's do the regional variations first, because then we get into like the legendaries and stuff. So yeah, let's do some of the regional ones like Wiglet and stuff like that. So we'll do Toadskull and Toadscruel. I think Toadskull is awesome and Toadscruel is awesome. I don't like them as much as Tentacruel and Tentacool, but the fact that it just kind of walks on the ground, I still think it's neat. I moved that in a different place. I think it's about there. Same with Toadskull. I don't think Toadskull is as good, but I like his running animation, and I think that alone, you deserve to go relatively high. Now, what other forms have we got? Right, we've got Clodsire and the other one, and then Annihilate. Let's do Annihilate first. Annihilate, which is another evolution, I think is cool, but I don't think it quite lives up to Primate. I'm going to place him around here. Clodsire, I think, is a cool design. I sort of like it better than Quagsire. I'm going to place you in S. Not amazingly highly, but still pretty highly. We'll place you behind Glimora. I do like Glimora a lot. And the Quagsire, the Wooper, I like that it looks like a skull and crossbones. And I think that alone makes it deserve to go in S. But I'm going to place it right at the bottom, because it is basically just a brown Wooper with like bones sticking out of it, to be honest. Oh shit, Pinkerton. That's actually one of the Pokemon that isn't a legend. Why have they stuck it down there? Right, anyway, the B-Sharp one, King's Gambit, I think is awesome, and I like the fact that he's sat down. He's also going to go in S. I'm not entirely sure B-Sharp needed an evolution, to be quite honest, but he's still amazing. I'm going to stick him... I'm going to stick him up there. Smile is cute. Ceruledge, I think these ones are just sort of like B-Sharp, but not. I think you go... Well, honestly, I think you go in A. I don't like him as much. He's not bad. I'm going to stick him about there. While the other two forms can definitely go in S. I'll stick him there for now. I'll get Tinkerton done while we're at it. Tinkerton also does this. Right, Tinkerton, whereabouts are you going? You're awesome. You are going very highly. You're going even higher, and you are not going as high. I don't like you anywhere near as much. But you're still pretty decent. You're still S rank. Okay, Tinkerton, might as well do all the other evolutions. I think this one doesn't look that great. I think top of B seems about right, and I think this one, the hammer looks a little bit less derpy. You can go in A, just not amazingly high. I think that seems about right. Cool. Who else? Let's do Miraidon and Koraidon. I know a lot of people like this form a lot, but I think this is low in A. To be honest, I don't like it as much. I think that seems about right. Whereas the violet version, which I think is Miraidon, I don't remember which one's which, I think does look pretty cool. What other cyclists are there? Hang on. I put Cyclids out there and I said that both are better. Am I going to move Cyclizar down or is you up? I'm going to move Cyclizar down. So about there. Yeah, okay. That seems about right. Why not? Why not indeed? Right, now I've got some legendaries and stuff, and the other forms. Which ones do I do first? I think I'm going to do the other forms first. Well, we'll start with the Donphan versions first. We've got these two. Iron Treads, I think, is that one. Iron Treads I really like. I think Iron Treads is a really cool design. I think that deserves to go in S. Sorry, I'm doing a lot of thinking because I'm trying to remember like a lot of their names, so that's why it's not being as as confident as some of the other parts. Sorry. I think Iron Treads can go back here, and I think this one, which I think is some Tusk, Great Tusk maybe, I think is maybe a little bit better. I'm going to stick it above the stars. So here. Yeah, that seems about right. I think they're called, I think they're all called Iron as well, these ones. So we'll do Iron Bundle, which is the Delibird version. And I think this is amazing. I am going to put it in the top 5. I love the design, and it's more useful than Delibird, so that also helps. Right, who's next? We'll have this one, Iron something or other. Is there a primal form? No. In that case, we'll just do this one. It's fine. I think it's pretty good. I don't think it's amazing. Like, some of these Iron ones look cool. I mean, a lot of the Iron ones look cool as well. Like, Iron Moth is pretty cool. I do like that one a lot. Not amazingly, it's not going to go super highly, but it's going to go relatively highly. I think I'm going to place it just above Great Tusk. Right, then you've got... What the hell is that one called? It's the Iron version of Tyranitar. Ironitar. That's not the name, but that's what I'm calling it. I think this is pretty cool, actually. I think probably not far off. I think probably about there. Yeah, I think that seems about right. Cool. Any more Iron ones left to do? Oh yeah, like Iron Fist maybe. It's the Iron Makuita. I don't like him as much. Let's place him. I'll place him in A still. I think it's still pretty decent, but kind of low down. Yeah, that seems about right. Now I think on the... Oh, no. We've got the... There we go, we've got this fella. Is that Iron or is that Primal? I think that Salamence is Primal? I don't remember it. There's this one. I think he's cool. I think he's got top of A. Don't think he deserves to be S, but top of A seems about right. Got this fella as well, which I think is a Primal version. I think it's Primal Magneton. I like his long legs. I think he deserves to go in S. I'm not going to rank him super highly because I'm not familiar with like these Pokemon, so I can't really comment on them. But yeah, right. Mischievous, I think it's cool, but I don't think it's as cool as normal Mischievous. You can go about here. Next we have, I think this is cool. I don't like Amoonguss, but I really like the design of this one. I think it makes it look pretty badass. I'm going to put this one quite high. I like it more than Grey Tusk. I think seems about right. Never used it before. Can't tell whether or not it's a good Pokemon. I say I'm just literally using it by design, but here we go. This is like, it looks like a Clefairy or something. That looks awful. I'm going to place that top C. Wow, I've really got no D's or F's. That's pretty surprising, to be honest. Yeah, no D's or F's. Like, we've got C's, which are kind of okay. I'm really surprised by that, and I don't think we're going to actually have... I don't think we're going to have any. So much so, I'm going to remove D and F. I'll add them if we need it. I'm going to leave it like that, just because it's going to be easy to move around. I think this is cool. I think that Salament's version is pretty awesome. I'm going to say about here. Say, never used it, literally just going by looks alone. I think this thing, even though it's a bug Pokemon, I don't think it looks as cool. Was it top of B? Yeah, it's pretty decent. That's all those forms. Right, we've got these things. Were they... I think these were legendaries in the main game, but I never... Yeah, they were. Yeah, I remember where they were. Because you have to unlock them. I've never used any of them. I can only go on their looks alone. So we've got... I'm going to do the snail first, because the snail I think is really awesome. I love the look of it. This looks horrific. This looks like something from a horror film. And for that alone, I'm going to place... I'll place it below King's Gambit. I can't place it above, but it does look really cool. I think the cat one is also going to be an S. I really like the tusks on it. I think there might even be chains. I'm going to place I'm going to place him about here. Never used him. That seems about right, just based on visuals alone. You've got the dude with the pot on the head. I think he's also a really cool design. I'm going to stick him in S. I don't think he's quite as good as the cat. I would place him based on looks here. The fish. To say that's a legendary Pokemon, I think he looks pretty disappointing. I'm going to place him right at the bottom. Because it basically just... I mean, it's a fire fish. Actually, that's not too bad. I'll place him in B then. I'll place him... I think I can place him above quite a fair few of these. I think there. Yeah, near top of B. I think that seems about right. I mean, the more I look at him, the more his design does seem pretty solid, so I'm going to leave it like that. Okay, so here is my list, and stronger than I thought. I mean, it's very mixed. I have to say, it is very mixed. Like, in terms of, you know, proportion, there's a mix between S, A, and then B and C. So there's definitely some I don't enjoy more than others, but there's surprisingly a lot more S's and A's than I expected. I expected this generation to not be as strong. I remember being a bit kind of iffy with some of the designs, but not that iffy. Like, I don't think there's any I really hate. Yeah, I mean, like, looking at the ones, it's just like, I don't like them, but they're not bad. I don't think it's too bad. I think it's a pretty solid generation. There's some underwhelming designs, but there's a lot of great designs too. So yeah, That was actually a big surprise. Now, we've got Legends Z-A coming up, and I don't think there's going to be any new Pokemon. I believe they're just going to be new Megas. Maybe they'll surprise us and stick in a new Pokemon. They did in Legends Arceus. But we will see. Maybe they'll wait till the DLC, the Hooper DLC, and stick some in there. We'll see. I'm excited to see whether there are any new Pokemon. I hope there's at least one or two. Just, to throw in something a little bit different. But either way, I'm still very excited for it. Let me know how excited you are in the comments below, and whether you agree with all these rankings. As I say, like these last few, I've not been as confident in the Pokemon, so I've been a bit hesitant, thinking how much do I like them and whatnot. So I definitely used to play Pokemon a lot more, especially when I battled with them. So obviously up until Generation 6 or so, I am quite familiar with a lot of those Pokemon, and then after that it's a bit like... So yeah, maybe these haven't been as entertaining for the last few generations, but for the sake of completion's sake, I have to do them anyway. Maybe my opinions on 7, 8 and 9 would change a lot more with a lot more experience. I'm probably a lot more confident with 8, to be honest, just because it's got a smaller dex. But yeah, anyway, thanks a lot for joining me on this journey. I really appreciate you coming with me. Some of these have been very long, some of these haven't been as long. I mean, this one has been a lot longer than I expected, to be honest, 40 odd minutes. So yeah, been a long time. Anyway, I will see you next time on whatever is the next video. I don't know if I'm going to be doing a Pokemon video anytime soon, because the channel is pretty much a VR thing, and this was a sort of a one-off as a celebration of the new game. But stay tuned, you might see other Pokemon. I'm not telling you to subscribe. If you've come in here just for the Pokemon videos and you're not interested in VR, then this probably isn't the channel for you. Watch these 9 videos, move on. Maybe I'll release another one in the future, but I wouldn't count on it, to be honest. Maybe in Generation 10, I suppose. Yeah, in Generation 10 I probably will. So check back in Generation 10, and there'll probably be a new video. But otherwise, don't worry about subscribing, but I would appreciate a like. So please drop down a like if you wouldn't mind. Or even a dislike if you didn't like it. Thanks a lot for coming. See ya.